Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome into Last Call here on WagerTalk. It is a Monday Night Football, and we're breaking down tonight's game between the New York Giants and the New England Patriots. Now, I have the Prez stepping up and Andrew McInnis, so make sure you get in the live chat here and drop those questions, drop those comments for the guys. We're going to have Prez in first, so make sure you open your Odds Logic page, shop for the best lines out there. Looking at the current spread, you guys, it is sitting at the New England Patriots laying 7 points. There's a 7.5 right now on FanDuel plus 100, but laying the 7 across the board between a minus 109 and minus 118. As for the total, 47.5 has popped on DraftKings. You're seeing a 47 on Sports 411. And then Caesar, BetMGM, and FanDuel all sitting at that 46.5. Just so depending on if you want the over or the under, make sure you do shop those lines on Odds Logic. And below this, you can get that link for a 7-day free trial. But let's bring the Prez in. He's got to get rolling here. So let's go. Happy Monday, bro.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Joe. Really excited to do this. Excited to watch some football tonight. I'm going to just a mini, small little poker tournament with some people who are going to be giving me their money. But we will have the game on, and I'm also in play in NHL. I have to make my NHL bet right now. Should we do it together?
The Sharks? Come on, you're betting the Sharks tonight, straight up on the money line, right? Utah lost their last 7 on the road.
I'm not going to bet the Sharks straight up on the money line tonight, but why should I? Tell me.
Because Utah sucks out there on the road. They have a terrible road record. They can't get things done. You're looking at a Sharks team that is stronger at home than on the road, 8-4-3. They got Macklin Celebrini out there, and they're coming off a game where they played Vegas really tight on Saturday. 4-3. I can't trust Utah to get it done.
Sounds like Joe Madden is a host of a hockey show, Joe. That was a wonderful breakdown.
Well, thank you, Perez. I appreciate it. I love me some hockey. I'm going to be watching it tonight. My brother's actually in town from Australia. His plane is landing in 45 minutes here. Yeah.
Where in Australia?
He lives in Melbourne, so him and the kids are coming on over. It's gonna be
I spent a lot of time in Melbourne. I thought it was the coldest city in the world.
Oh, geez, yeah, no central heat in those houses.
That was the problem, was that so I just made my bet. I'm going to give it out for free to all of you guys. I took over 6 in the Winnipeg Jets hockey game. They're playing Buffalo tonight. You know, the Jets, it's amazing that whole first impression thing, et cetera, et cetera. You know, we think this is an under team, right?
Yeah.
It's not. It's not anymore. And now without Hellenbuck and net, there's a lot of depth in goal scorers in Winnipeg. And, you know, Buffalo is just so fast. They suck so bad on defense. So, yeah, over 6 in the Jets game. That's an actual client play. I'm going to be giving lots of client plays out. Joe, what else would you like to hear about?
Oh, well, I absolutely love it. Let's jump into this Monday Night Football game because I know we've got you limited time. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone there in the chat, those new members popping in as well. Okay, so looking at this game tonight, we had some crazy upsets on the weekend. Could you see a recipe for the New York Giants to pull off another one?
You know, so I'll tell you right off the bat, I mean, it's not the greatest spot for the New England Patriots spot wise. It's not, they did not circle this game under any sense. With that said, it is an important game for the New York Giants in the sense that it's a measuring stick. Are they getting better? Jackson Dart is back. You know, New England, #1 team in the league right now. So it would be a game that I think the New York Giants will come in super excited to play. But I think it's a game that the New York Jets are like, okay. I mean, the New York Jets, the New England Patriots are like, okay, let's get out of Dodge. Yeah. So with that said, I mean, look, -7, I think is a real strong line. 7.5 with a hook. I am interested in the Giants. Without the hook, I would pass. And I know people will be like, well, what do you mean? That is a big difference to me, that hook. And that keeps me off of games. You know, yesterday I had a money line parlay on San Francisco and Tampa Bay. Why? I really liked San Fran, and I was happy to bet them on the spread. I just didn't like the hook in Tampa Bay. So I ended up, instead of taking both teams on ATS, I took them on the money line. I would have gone 1-1 ATS. Instead, I went 1-0. J-Dog says, is over 6.5 good on the Winnipeg Jets game? No, it's not, J-Dog. It's not. And this is a really important thing, Joe. We cannot chase lines. Like, in other words, if you like the over in the Winnipeg Jets and Buffalo game and you missed 6, move on till tomorrow. With that said, J-Dog, wait and watch. You get 9 minutes of no scoring, you're going to have a 6 up there. You get 15 minutes of no scoring, you're going to have a 5.5 up there. So breathe, wait, and see if the 6 appears. But I'll tell you flat out, the difference between betting over 6.5 and over 6 is the difference between winning and losing money in the long run. So I don't bet under 6 and I don't bet over 6. If you follow my NHL, 6 is my number. I bet under 6, I bet over 6. I do not bet under 5.5, and I do not bet over 6.5. And that is just a complete rule that I broke it once this year, Joe, and I didn't win. Game? I took under 5.5 in a game I think St. Louis was involved in, and it did hit. But on a whole, that is the rule. And it's the same with playing the New York Giants tonight. If you like them at 7.5, I don't mind if you take them at 7 because you're going onto a push. But if it drops to 6.5, it's not a bet. Don't chase. There's just no rush.
So would you look for the live betting opportunity like you do on the End Zone every Sunday?
Always. I love, and yesterday, by the way, shout out to all of you guys who came on and on End Zone Live yesterday. Joe, we had 35,000 people log on to watch End Zone Live, and that show is so fun. And yes, I did one in-game bet yesterday. It was the under 38.5 in the Houston Texans game, and it did cash. So I was very happy about that. As far as the totals go tonight, Joe, I like the over here, 46.5. Look, there are 47s out there, but the difference between 46.5 and 47 is very small. It's literally in the 1 percentile zone. So I wouldn't be too flustered about that. And even if it's 47.5, 47 is not a crucial number when it comes to betting. Yes, 27-20 does happen, but 27-21 happens more. So I do like the over in that game. And I look at it really like, here we have a New York Giants team that's just playing with house money. They're loose. They're playing for next year. They're going to go for it on 4th downs. Jackson Dart's going to run. I get that the Patriots defense is good. Yeah. But I think we're going to see a big score from the Patriots. And now it's just a matter of whether the New York Giants can keep up. I think the Patriots are going to get us into the low 30s. So, a 31-24 game, which is -7 right on that number, feels about right to me. And that's substantially more than the over. The total of 46.5, 47. So I like the over in this game.
So I have a question for you. Are you ever involved in those team totals then? Like if you like the Patriots? Okay.
Yeah. So yesterday I had a great bet. I bet under 14.5 for Minnesota Vikings team total. Okay. So yes, I'm very interested in team totals. And normally I'm looking to take the team. So in this situation, New England is supposed to be the scorer here. Mm-hmm. So if I were to take a team total, I'd actually look to take the New York Giants team total over, not New England's team total over. I like to go counterintuitive from that perspective. You look at Dallas and Detroit this coming Thursday. I mean, just take both team totals over.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, I do love team total betting. What I don't do well is bet props. Okay. The Outcast just wrote Diggs has scored 100 reception yards against all New York teams on prime time. How many New York teams are there, Joe?
Well, 2, I think right? There's only 2, right?
Unless actually, there's 3. There's 3 because technically Buffalo is a New York team, but then technically the Giants aren't. So, because don't they play in New Jersey?
They do.
Yeah, so they're not even a New York team.
Interesting.
I mean, if you put the name New York Flames, is Calgary from New York?
No, they're definitely not.
Yeah, all because you just stuck New York in front of something doesn't actually make it from New York. By the way, bet against the New York Flames. So
Please,
yeah, I'm
always.
not familiar with how many New York teams Diggs put up numbers up on.
Yeah.
But I know he did against Buffalo, and that was a reasonable thing. But either way, even if you assume the Jets in New York are the Jets and the Giants are from New York, that's not a sample size worthy of even looking at.
Okay, so you like the Giants as long as you can get the 7.5.
I like the Giants as long as you can get the 7.5, but
Yeah.
I do have New England to finish a money line parlay that is for my clients. So I am going to cheer for New England. I can easily see this game land on 7, Joe. It feels like it feels like it could land on 7. So if the 7.5 is there and I had to bet ATS, I would bet the Giants. I don't have to bet ATS. So I prefer to take New England on the money line, and feel free to parlay it, guys. There's lots of opportunities here. You can take them with Seattle. You can take them with Tampa Bay. You can take them with the Rams. You can take them with Buffalo, although the Buffalo game does worry me this coming Sunday. Man, Cincinnati with Joe Burrow looked good.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Buffalo scares me for sure. Cincy, a 5.5-point dog right now, Prez. That looks really nice. So,
well, there's 6.5 out there too, and 4.5. And just to let everybody know, so you have a scenario here where Bet365 is -4.5. Most of the books are at -5.5 on this Buffalo game, but Pinnacle has Buffalo at -6.5 plus 110. What does that tell us, Joe Madden?
well, I'm assuming that the lines are starting to move in that direction if Pinnacle's moved it.
Yeah, it tells us that there is serious money coming in on Buffalo.
Yeah.
Serious, and the other books are behind. Now, that doesn't mean that they could be trying it could be a fake, right? You know, we're early in the week. They could be betting heavy on Buffalo to get it to that 7, and then the real bet comes in later on Cincinnati. So we need to be careful. But Penny is sending us a message right now, and it's saying the money is coming in on Buffalo, and Penny is -7.5 plus 111 on New England tonight. So they're taking money on the Pats, and they're holding firm at 46.5. So they're taking money slightly on the under. But that is a leading indicator book, and a book that we really should follow.
Yeah, it definitely is. Okay, Perez, you've got a packed night. You have the best betting show ever during the week. When can people check it out, and what have you got for sale up on WagerTalk?
Yeah, so sale-wise, don't worry about me today, guys. I'm on the over in the New England game, and I gave you my NFL, my NHL. I do have an NBA and a college basketball bet, and I'll tell you, Joe, my basketball's been insane. I'm so good at basketball all of a sudden. And when I say all of a sudden, with NBA, it's been about 3.5 years. So I put a whole new team together about 3.5 years ago to do my NBA, and I mean, it's just been freaking lights out. And this year as well, 60% win rate. I'm up in both college and NBA. And we do have a cyber promo out there that's available until midnight PST tonight. And that is Cyber 20. So anybody who wants to buy me or Andrew McInnis, any handicapper out there, just use the promo code Cyber 20. You get 20% off of any single thing that is in your shopping cart. So that's a really great promotion. I'm sure Andrew's got another promotion to give you, because yesterday he tried 6 times to give out a promotion on End Zone Live, and all we did was keep interrupting him. It got funny, actually.
That would have got funny. I have to go back and watch the clips of that for sure, Prez. But you have a wonderful night. Good luck with everything you got going on.
Thank you, Joe. Guys, lots of love to all of you. You can see me on the Best Betting Ever every day. It's up at around 12:30 Eastern.
Ooh. Okay. You'll find Prez there, 12:30 Eastern. Thanks so much
for coming on. Lots of love,
tonight.
everybody. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, Prez. You guys head on over to WagerTalk.com to check out everything the Prez has going on. You don't want to miss out. I can't believe how hot he's been in basketball over the last couple of years. He's just flying out there. Okay, we're week 13 of the NFL. It was a crazy weekend. I can't wait to see what Andrew McInnis has on tonight's slates. Bring the questions for the props. Now, childhood greats. We're going to see what Andrew thinks of Hunter Henry for that anytime a touchdown, but I do think the tight end there for the New England Patriots definitely is a great target, someone that you want to look at out there to be able to get in the end zone. Drake May definitely looks for him. So I would go there. I would look at him for sure. And I'm seeing the comments from the Devils up 2-0 in the first 3 minutes. That is money, you guys. Their team total was 3.5. Fingers crossed that they get 2 more goals in that game. We're getting plus money for them tonight. You had to lay the chalk on the money line, though. Hopefully, you guys didn't do it. It was minus 150 on that. But let's bring Andrew McInnis in. We'll see actually what he's liking in that Devils game as well. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Joe. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Are you happy to hear the Devils are up 2-0 in the first 3 minutes of that game?
That is the side that I leaned. I'll tell you, I just kind of thought that we're going to see Columbus start to wheel away because of their injuries and kind of get that regression a little bit. I mean, there's only so many games in a row you can rely on your offense before your defense starts to hurt you. And I feel like this Columbus defense has just been giving up so many chances over the last week or two, and it's going to start coming back to haunt them a little bit. So, the Devils honestly are probably one of the best teams that gets the least amount of credit in the NHL. I think a lot of it has to do with their division. The Metropolitan Division hasn't been great over the last little while, but also the Metro teams haven't really made a lot of noise in the playoffs the last couple of years. Usually they're just out in the second round is what it ends up being. So, but yeah, they're a good team. I'm looking forward to tonight's slate. Honestly, I got Pittsburgh right now for anybody that wants to jump in. I like Pittsburgh tonight against Philly. I think Philly coming in after a couple wins, maybe they're feeling a little bit too satisfied, and you got a Pittsburgh team pretty motivated. They lost 7-2. Against the Leafs on Saturday night, so they'll be motivated.
I love to hear that because I'm on the Penguins as well, especially since that power play converts at such a high rate. One thing to note, though, you guys, for the Columbus Blue Jackets, Shane Monahan has been just lights out versus the Devils. I believe it's 25 points in 21 career games versus the Devils. So if you can jump in on a live prop, I love Monahan tonight. But Andrew, we're talking Thursday night football. There was a question about Hunter Henry for the anytime touchdown. Has he made your card? Is he someone you would circle?
So for Hunter Henry, I think there's value on him for a touchdown tonight. I think he will get his looks in the end zone, but I think that's the spot he'll be targeted the most. There's always certain teams that have some spots they're really good against and some spots they're weaker against. And looking at this Giants team, obviously they're 24th in the league against the pass, so not very good as far as their receiving yard defense is concerned. However, against tight ends, 8th. So we were joking around on our shows all day today, and especially starting today with Andy Lang on Props and Parlays. Try and say one nice thing you can about the New York Giants. And one nice thing I found about the New York Giants, they're pretty good against tight ends. Yeah. So if you want, you can get under 39.5 right now for Hunter Henry. And that number is low as it is for a reason. So people have fallen in love with this guy. He's someone that's been really good for the Patriots, part of their success all season. But I am looking for his under on his yardage. Having said that, he certainly could be a target in the red zone. So definitely, I think if you like Hunter Henry today, you're better off just looking towards the end zone, the touchdown prop. And I think it's more of a good day for the wideouts, not as much the tight end tonight.
Okay, we're going to get to the question on Stefon Diggs. Before we do, I want to ask you your thoughts on how much they run Jackson Dart out here tonight for the New York Giants. We know he's been out the last 2 games under concussion protocol. This defense here with the Patriots is serious. His number is 27.5. I don't care if you like the number or not. Do you think the coaching staff is going to run him, Andrew? Because I think they'd be fools to.
Yeah, based on maybe I'm falling for it because of everything that I read. But everything that I read, I've looked at local stuff, I've looked at beat reporters, I've read the national news. Every single quote, unless they're putting up smoke screens, every single quote tells us they're going to take it easier on him. And obviously, new coaching staff, new kind of command of chief here. People are saying different things. This is going to be a guy sitting back in the pocket and just making wise decisions. They don't want him putting himself at risk. They see him as the future of this team and the guy behind center for many years to come. And, I get it. He's got his instinct, right? He's a gamer. He's a dog. That's what he is. But at the end of the day, I don't think he's going to be putting himself in risk as much as he was before. There will not be any plays called for him to be running. And I think that unless it's really called for, he won't get out there and run. Patriots rank second in the league against the run. I think the only guys running for this Giants team will be very few rushing attempts. And especially if we do see points, the Patriots go up ahead, they get up early, there's going to be no running available. I mean, you're going to have to throw the ball. You're going to have to make big plays through the air. That's the best way of looking at it, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think they would maybe in the situation where they're in the end zone, maybe then he's scrambling and has to get out and run it, where the coaching staff probably doesn't want him to, but his ego comes into play there. But what about his pass attempts then? Because that number is sitting at 29.5. You're going to have to lay juice to either of these quarterbacks for their pass attempts, but 29.5 at minus 125, is it worth a little bit of money, Andrew?
Joe, what are you seeing for completions right now? I like that one, but I was talking with Andy earlier. I gave out the 205.5 passing. Saw some spots showing like 210, 215 now, which is so it's really blowing up. But what do you see for the completions? Because I like the attempts, but Andy actually talked about the completions earlier. I'll give him credit. I like that one as well. If you miss the boat on the good number for the passing yards, I do think we had a comment here talking about J-Dog says that Dart wants to outshine May tonight in primetime. I get it. And he could try and make some big plays, but I do think that he's going to be making a lot of simplified plays, right? Keeping it simple, stay on the field, try and have long methodical possessions. That's going to be the key for them. So the completions could add up. Like, I'm on the yards already. So obviously I want a lot of explosive plays. The attempts I think could cash, but it's always nice when you have like a 5-yard pass that's kind of like just to get you out of trouble, and that counts as a completion for you. And we're playing a team that's number 2 against the rush. Obviously, it's going to be nothing but passes. So completions or attempts, I'm fine with either. But I do think completions are probably good for this one, just because I could see a lot of short passes taking place tonight.
Yeah, so we're seeing a completion of 18.5 minus 125. And actually FanDuel, so I saw the same numbers as you, like the 210, 211, but we are seeing FanDuel with 202.5 for his passing yards. So that is so low.
That's weird. I mean, if there's ever a time to tell people to have multiple books, that's probably the time to do it. That's insane to look at. I don't know if somebody jumped in on FanDuel and took the under. But yeah, J-Dog said Dart isn't afraid to throw the long bomb. Well, I hope he's right, because that'll help cash my passing yard ticket. But I do think overall, again, there's going to be some dump offs. You're going to see some more short passes. I think they're going to be a little bit careful with him. I don't think we'll see the long bombs until the game starts to get out of hand. Yeah. And as someone that has the passing yards over, I wouldn't hate it. I'm not going to be sitting on my couch in 20 minutes saying, oh, I'm upset that he threw a 40-yard pass. But I do think, and that 18.5, that's going to be one of those ones where end of third quarter, into the fourth quarter, it's going to start adding up for us. We're going to be looking at it and say, okay, here we go. They're down 13 points. We need him to only throw the ball. And obviously, the less he throws or they run it, the better for us.
Absolutely. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the New York Giants here. What are you expecting out of Drake May and the New England Patriots?
Well, I think it's hard to not look at his passing yards overall. I think that one thing, if we're going to talk about, we said about Dart not being able to not being shy to sling it, but I think it's a good day to look towards the longest pass completion for Drake May. I'm trying to find the updated number here. If I can get it, where is it here? Longest pass. I'm trying to find it. Usually it's...
I found it. 20? You ready for it? 33.5. Or no, 38.5 for Drake May.
Because usually it's around 34, 35 for Drake May. I think that's the move, because there's multiple guys you can choose. And the way I look at it is this. You can take Booty. You can take Diggs. You can look at all kinds of different options. You can take Henry. But why not just take him to have one explosive play, if not more? And this is the thing. You cash it with one bet. You don't have to get to a certain number, or have a guy catch so many balls. You just have to get over that certain number. So I do think over the longest one for him is pretty good to look at. I think Diggs overall is going to have himself a good game today. We've seen his kind of progression, him getting the ball a lot more. I think his receptions is probably a play. I think I saw a comment about that. I think he will get a bunch. Raiders said over 4.5 and 50 yards receiving. I think Diggs definitely gets the ball quite a bit. Another one for the Patriots that I like, I talked about this on WagerTalk today, was Ramondre Stevenson anytime touchdown score. I got that plus 210, plus 205. And the big reason is, we saw Travion Henderson has become the lead back for this team. Volume wise, obviously we saw Stevenson having injury issues, but even with him healthy, I think the volume is going to belong to Henderson. So with that said, I think it's going to be short yardage back, goal line back. We were joking around today on our prop show that for fantasy owners, you could easily see Henderson have like 5, 6, 7 more carries. But you might end up seeing Stevenson have more fantasy points if he gets in the end zone once or twice and makes some of those big plays. So that's an anytime touchdown scoring prop I do like for tonight.
Okay, well, I've got some good news for you. I know you're on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sidney Crosby has scored a goal.
Ooh,
Russ got the
love that.
assist on that. So it is 1-0 right now. You guys, the Penguins are now a minus 200 favorite. Going into this game, I couldn't believe the price you were getting on the Penguins as the dogs, right? Like they were coming in a slight plus money. So nicely done on that one. You got Tristan Jarry between the pipes. So, okay, that's your update on the ice, Andrew.
And it opened up as a big favorite. I'll be honest, I didn't get the best number on Pittsburgh, but sometimes in the end, the biggest misconception people have with NHL is, it doesn't really matter about where the money is going and things. And Prez was talking about Pinnacle, and you can look at Circa and South Point and certain books. Like there is certain situations where I will respect a market move. And you saw it happen with Philadelphia, open up as 160. And for me, it's like, I don't really respect that number. We'll see which way the market moves. And you know what? For people that are on here with me, Joe, I know you're on the other side, but I'm going to tell you, I think Utah put some goals on the board here tonight.
Ooh.
Utah opened up 153. They're now like 165. Their team total is plus 110. That's a 3% play for me, and I think that this is an opportunity here. Carmine and I on the show today on Puck Time, we're asking ourselves, why is Utah minus 165? For a lot of the same reasons you were just talking about, but you look at it, you look at San Jose, some of the regression they've been showing defensively, reliance on their goaltending, Utah coming off a game where they were shut out. And you ask yourself, they opened up 153 and they moved to 165. What does that mean? Sometimes you have to listen to the numbers.
So true. We have seen the Columbus Blue Jackets as well get a goal, you guys. I'm not seeing who got it. Coyle did get the assist. They haven't assigned the goal yet. So please, fingers crossed, it is Monahan because I have Monahan for the point and the goal tonight. So we'll see. We'll keep you guys posted on that. But back to Thursday Night Football. What else are you liking? Sorry, it's Monday. It's only Monday. It's December 1st, Andrew. Kind of all over the place because my brother is landing right away from Australia. So
that's awesome.
Excited to go watch this game and some hockey with him.
I thought, that's fantastic, Joe, especially with someone coming from that far away. It'd be really nice to get together. So I'll try not to keep you too long. But yeah, we touched on this earlier here. I saw Carl commenting in here, Jackson Dart, anytime touchdown. It would be kind of a funny little same game parlay would be Jackson Dart under on rushing yards, but an anytime touchdown score. Like the only time he moves, the only time he actually leaves the pocket is to score a touchdown. You mentioned that earlier, Joe. You talked about it. I mean, maybe his instincts take over. And I had a friend that actually was talking about that earlier to me. And I said, well, hey, look, this Pats team is good against the run. And you've got a guy coming back from concussion protocol and obviously a concussion. But at the same time, maybe his instinct does kick in. So I like that. But yeah, overall, Joe, one of the ones that I liked, you already kind of talked about it and we mentioned it. I do like his under on rushing yards quite a bit. I like the digs over, preferably the receptions. I think he's going to be good. And I think that longest pass completion for Drake May is a really good one to look at. Ramondre Stevenson, anytime touchdown scorer prop is one that I like. And I really think there's a lot of opportunities really to make money with Jackson Dart today, whether it's the completions, whether it's the passing, whatever it might be. I feel, and to be honest, if we're talking about really the fact that this rushing defense is so good, what if we take a shot with the passing touchdowns total at a good price? For Jackson Dart, because are we confident that he's gonna, we're gonna see them have many rushing touchdowns? If they do find the end zone a couple of times, they do end up getting 2, and you're getting some pretty good prices there on 2+ passing touchdowns for Jackson Dart.
It's plus 170, Andrew. You're getting great plus money on that. Okay. So I just threw that into a parlay with his under 27.5 rushing yards and his rushing touchdown. Plus 25.49, but that is a major long shot. What I like better is the first one you threw out. The under 27.5 rushing yards in Jackson Dart anytime touchdown. It's plus 753, Andrew. We got a
That's pretty
sprinkle
good.
after you called it out on the show.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We have to clip that. We have to clip that. If that ends up going well, I think it could be good. I mean, if he does use his legs, he uses them when he's in the red zone. I like that one. We had a comment earlier talking about Hunter Henry. Very similar. We have two players tonight that I like the under on their yardage, but I like them potentially to get a touchdown. Hunter Henry could easily be an end zone target, but I do like that under 39.5. We got to ask ourselves, I was just talking about it with respecting the market in the NHL. Why is Hunter Henry's number what it is?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know that there's some other great receivers on this team, but with the season he's having, you know, I think that people should be all over him. But then you take a look at the best thing about this Giants team, apparently, is their defense against tight ends.
So true. Okay, Andrew, what do you have for sale up at WagerTalk?
I got a best bet prop play. You know, yesterday we went, I believe, 4-2. So we came profit. We had the best bet that we put out there on Charbonnet with his rushing yards, plus 30 unit long-term run with the NFL props. I think third in WagerTalk 2025 as far as the player props are concerned. I already told you I like the Mammoth tonight with their team total, so we'll try and cash that ticket. Got the Penguins in action right now. Happy to see they're winning their game. But Cyber 20, guys, Cyber 20, get the rest of my NHL season. Cyber 20, get the rest of my NFL player props or full season. I do release sides and totals, but I would say 87% of my picks are all player props in the NFL. So if you guys want to join me, you can get that, WagerTalk.com. I'm completely shocked. I know not everybody looks at social media. I know not all of our customers at WagerTalk do watch the videos, but I think a lot of them do. We've had sales today come in that are just regular price. Like, guys, if you want any of my passes, if you want my full NHL season, you're going to get everything I release. Props, totals, sides, team totals. Cyber 20 takes 20% off. It's a fantastic deal.
Yeah, it absolutely is. You guys head on over to wagertalk.com to grab that. Okay, Andrew, puck time. When can people catch him? What else can they catch you on?
Yeah, my new show, The Pre-Scout. Sometimes we're live, sometimes we're pre-recorded, but you can get that either late into the night or early into the morning. That's great. Usually going through a couple games and then also going over some props, using some great websites to look at my info for that. Puck time, 11 a.m. Eastern, every single weekday. And of course, Mondays, don't forget to check out Props and Parlays with myself and Andy Lang. I love doing that show, Joe, because we just dive into one game only.
Okay.
Props right with the sides, a little bit of sides, but mostly just looking at passing props, receiving props, rushing props, anytime touchdown. And then we build a same game parlay at the end, which is a lot of fun.
Sweet.
You know, we'll kind of scan over the side, like in our breakdowns, but most of the show is about props.
You ever look at the defensive props out there?
Those are juicy. Those are fun to look at. I don't bet the tackles. I want to get into that, like the assists and sacks and stuff like that. I'll be honest, I don't do that, but every now and then we'll throw out like a defensive touchdown or something like that.
Oh, I absolutely love it. Andrew, there's a question in the comments asking if I'm related to John Madden. Did you know I have an uncle named John Madden and a cousin named Steve Madden? Just not the right John Madden out there. It would be really nice to say I was, but yeah, somewhere I'm sure in the family tree, we're like 60 degrees of separation. What's the term? How many degrees of separation between each person?
Yeah. People say to me, are you related to Al McInnis? I'm like, well, I don't have the same slap shot as him, and I'm not nearly as good at hockey, but probably somewhere down the line I'm related to him at some point.
Definitely somewhere down the line. Okay, enjoy this game. What games are going to have on the TV tonight? You're going to have Monday Night Football? You're going to have some hockey? What are you doing?
Yeah, it kind of works out. I mean, I'll have the Pittsburgh game on. I think I have one monitor with the Pittsburgh game. I'll have one monitor on the NFL game. And then because my Canadians play tomorrow night, I got to watch whatever my girlfriend wants to watch on the other TV because the Canadians take priority for me in the house. So they play tomorrow night. They play 3-4 times a week. So I got to always have the main TV on the Habs. So a couple games with the picks and then whatever the heck we're watching tonight, I'll find out in 10 minutes.
You know how to make your girlfriend happy. I love it. Montreal, it's a straight pick 'em right now versus the Ottawa Senators tomorrow. I wish you all the best in that game to your Habs. I like your Habs this year. They're looking good, Andrew.
I hope so. I want to go watch a playoff game this year. That's my goal, Joe.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I think you can get there. Call Caulfield, Nick Suzuki. Can you believe before you leave, you could parlay them at the start of the year for point and you get plus money. Now it's like minus 130 parlay together.
I know now
Crazy.
you have to add in like Hudson or Slavkovsky to get plus money. You can't even get plus money with the two of them together right now.
No, you can't. Not at all. Okay, Andrew, crush the books tonight. You guys head on over to wagertalk.com to grab Andrew's best bets. Thanks, Andrew.
Take care, Joe. All the best.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Thank you. You guys, if you're looking for the best bets of the hosts of the handicappers of Wager Talk, make sure you do use Cyber20 as your promo code until midnight tonight. You can load your cart with absolutely anything you want. Using that code, you will get that 20% off. So head on over to wagertalk.com today. Okay, we've gone through everything the Prez and Andrew McInnis are liking out there. You guys have to hear what I'm liking. I have to lay all of the points here with the New England Patriots. I think the Patriots are going to come out, be able to get things done. I just trust this team a heck of a lot more, and I have concerns with Jackson Dart coming out. I love where Andrew's going, though, with him using his arm, and I do think he will have to use his arm in this game. Throw that ball up, those completions or the pass attempts, I think is a great way to look. And again, if you're shopping those lines, head on over to FanDuel for that passing prop. It's 202.5, where the rest of the books are 210 plus. So definitely check that out. But I will lay the 7 with the New England Patriots. I think this team is so strong against the run, and that's where I really go in this one. I just can't trust this Giants team to be able to move the ball. I think they're going to struggle here to move the ball on the Patriots. And we're going to see the Patriots be able to run the ball straight down their throat. They're going to run it up the gut, and they're just going to not be stopped out there. So I'm looking at Travion Henderson, you guys, and I'm just pulling up his numbers here to make sure nothing has changed. But I think Travion Henderson is in for a big night. I also think you can look at Drake May to use his legs out here as well. We know he's so strong at getting those big explosive plays off. So if you're looking at Drake May, his passing yards is 244.5. I'm going to stay off of that, but I will look at his longest pass over the 38.5, like Andrew was talking about. I think we see him fire some really deep balls. We're looking at a New York Giants team that allows the most rushing yards in the league, but also the second most explosive plays. And I think May's in for a big night because of it. Now, could Drake May finally have like that night where he throws 300 passing yards? It's not out of question, you guys, against this defense. And I do think it's something you might want to consider laddering up tonight. I'll take his longest pass completion. I'm also then going to look at Travion Henderson to really run the ball so solid on the ground. His number is 63.5. Now, I know you could also look further down at Stevenson. His number is only 27.5, but I do think Travion Henderson gets a majority of the work. I think his rushing and receiving prop is also interesting to look at, that combined number of 83.5, because I think there will be some situations where he gets those short passes off from Drake May, and then we see him run it down the field. So I don't hate the rushing and receiving 83.5. I do think if you're looking at just his rushing number of 63.5, that he can nicely go over this. And I don't mind doing a ladder on that one all the way up to, 80, 90 plus rushing yards for Travion Henderson. So when you look at that ladder, the 70 plus is plus 116, you've got the 80 plus at plus 174, and the 90 plus at plus 250. Again, when you're doing those props in your laddering, make sure you're really light on those numbers. You guys don't put a full unit on that ladder. I split it up. So if I've got 4 stages of the ladder, I take 1 unit, quarter of a unit on each. But you guys, absolutely all the best. J-Dog, I should check out Ancestry DNA and see if I'm related to John Madden. But yeah, definitely a John Madden over in Australia. He was a butcher. Definitely not a football coach. So you guys, all the best in all of your bets. Enjoy tonight's Monday Night Football game. Hopefully it's not a snooze fest. I'm expecting some action. I like this game to the over. Until next time, you guys, I will be here Thursday before the show kicks off. But until then, stay hot and let's make some freaking money. Bye, you guys. Thanks for being here tonight.